Yo, guys, let's rejoice. It is patch note day. We're getting new patches. I think they're live in the PTR now. I'm going to be trying these practically all night today. I'm going to mess around a little bit with them on my Twitch, twitch.tv/NumbNexus. Go follow that. We're almost at 20K. Before we get to any of this, though, that's in the video, make sure to slap a like to hit support on the video. It would mean a lot to me. So literally before you do anything, hit that like button. It would mean the world. Let me know your thoughts and what you think about the patch note down in the comments down below. If your favorite character getting buffed or nerfed, that's on you. And definitely make sure to subscribe for more Overwatch content, because like I said in my update video, they're coming soon. But let's get into the first one. Genji. I am pretty fucking excited. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited. So they basically gave his mobility back. Remember back in August 2016 when they took that shit? They gave it back. Like, he's giving a lot of his mobility back now with this. It says they removed the attack cooldown from Genji's wall climbing ability, allowing him to engage with enemies immediately after completing a climb. And the developer comments, it says, this is a quality of life change to make wall climbing feel better. Because right now, wall climbing feels a little stiff, a little jank sometimes. Some weird animation bugs you can have sometimes as well. So for them to be removing the attack cooldown from Genji's wall climbing, it's pretty significant. Like, for a Genji main, it's pretty significant. A lot of people don't see the significance in it. It's gonna be pretty detrimental in him winning a couple more matchups now. Shit, he could probably take on Fair a little more confidently now. Yes, there are Genjis out there that try and take on Fair's. Yes, it was good aim, good dash, and good wall climbs. Genji is with you. Not much to say about that, though. Big ones, though. Hanzo, my lover, Hanzo. Oh, my God. That sounds gay. Wait a minute. I love Hanzo, but, like, not like that. No homo. Basically, what they did is they removed the attack cooldown from Hanzo's wall climbing ability, allowing him to engage with enemies immediately after completing a climb. Kind of similar for Genji, so I like that they did that. Brother balance. I like that they did that. Now, here's what's big. His storm bow, his main kit, the main arrow and bow that he uses, they increase the charge speed by 10%, meaning he'll charge up to full 10% faster than he initially would. This is huge. This is huge. I was playing Hanzo on stream for 3 days straight because I'm trying to perfect my Hanzo. Right now it's like a 2.8 out of 5. I wanted to hit that 3.5, 4 out of 5. I want to get a really good Hanzo right now. That's who I'm definitely religiously working on right now. You know, I'm pretty inconsistent with Hanzo. Where some games I'll pop off, other games I just won't do much. So I'm working on that. I like what they're doing here. I like what they're doing here because it makes it to where not only can he get max faster, but this means that he can do his absolute most damage faster as well. Because if you didn't know, Hanzo does his absolute max damage from the storm bow when it's fully charged. When he fully cocks back the arrow is when he does the most damage. Fun fact if you didn't know, and I'm only pointing this out because you would be surprised how many people don't know. There are a lot of Hanzo mains out there, but unfortunately they give a bad name to the good ones because they're just not good. They're not good. But it says charged arrows now maintain their charge after climbing a wall, provided the button is continuously held. That's crazy. I can tell you how many times I just wall climb and hold my bow and arrow, but like nothing's happening from it. Like, when I climb the wall and I have a fully charged arrow, like, it resets to where the arrow is no longer fully charged anymore, and I have to recharge it back again, and the animation's a little slow on recharging it, so you can potentially get fucked up there. Now you can literally wall climb out of a situation, be above somebody, have a fully charged arrow, and get a free headshot if your aim is true. That's insane. That is literally insane. Decreasing Hanzo's draw time gives him more overall DPS, while also letting him fully charge an arrow and more quickly return to the full movement speed when needed. And like the change to Genji's wall climbing, this is a quality of life change that'll make wall climbing feel better. They literally made wall climbing feel better. But fun fact, Blizzard, Jeff Kaplan, 2 dragons can climb but Winston can't. Let's work on that. They actually did something to Orisa as well. They give her a nerf and a buff, which is interesting. The nerf that they did is to a fusion driver. They reduced the damage by 15%. Now, I think this is very much needed. I played a really weird comp yesterday, this cheese comp. It was on Hanamura. They had a double barrier, Ryan, Orisa, and they had Zenyatta, Reaper, Pharah, with Orisa, and all of that. It just does so much damage. You know, it was on my stream the other day. It does so much damage to do with the Zen Orb, with the Reaper in the front lines, with the Pharah above and the high lines. I'm just like, oh my god, the damage output is insane. Plus the Yada Discord Orb, it would be immaculate. And especially with Torb Orisa Discord Orb, would do a lot as well. So now they reduced her damage to 15%, which I think is needed. She did way too much damage. I know a lot of people will argue saying, oh, but Roadhog does so much damage, and he's a fucking tank. He's basically a DPS. Like, that's like Mei is considered a tank to a lot of people. Yes. That's like Symmetra considered DPS to a lot of people. Say no more. That's like Sombra being considered support to a lot of people. So it's like characters that are in roles that play other roles, something like that. So it's interesting. But a very, very big buff that they did to Orisa, which I think this will now make her meta. Before, she was like a niche pick, and even still, she was a crippling niche pick because, like, she wouldn't necessarily, like, I guess, be an optimal choice. I mean, some maps she would be, but otherwise, she's kind of, like, seen even worse than Sombra to a lot of people's eyes, when Sombra really isn't even bad, but they don't know how to play her. I feel like that's not the case with Orisa, but the fact that everybody and their mother counters her, except for Mei Torb, and the fact that her head size is the size of Jupiter. Yes, they reduced her head size, which is something that's nice, but they did reduce the damage, so I don't know how I feel about that, but it's also at the same time needed. She isn't a DPS character, so it makes sense that they reduced it. As like when Zarya, when they decreased her shield for like by 20% because she did way too much damage. It makes sense, dude. It makes sense. And then they also buffed her here with the cooldown being reduced from 12 to 8. That's a solid 4 seconds. Means that literally her shield will hardly go down. It will hardly go down. Like if her shield is getting destroyed, give it 8 seconds, it'll come right back up. Versus 12 seconds where, alright, Orisa's shield is gone. Literally take her out now from a distance because, like I said, everybody beats her ass because she's so immobile and her head is so big that it's free headshots, meaning free ult charge for the enemy team. So now if you wonder if you have an Orisa on your team and like a Soldier 76 or a Hanzo is getting ult, just like that, every time Orisa's dying, every time, you know who's feeding. The Orisa that's gotta move right away. Lucio's, help the Orisa, dude. But the cool buff, the cooldown reduce for her protective barrier is huge. This means that the barrier meta is even gonna be more annoying now. Winston's barrier got a buff. We already have Ryan's shield. This is really, really good. And now Orisa's shield as well. You got Diva's defense matrix that got constantly buffed. Zarya's bubbles are just there, dude. Goodness gracious. I mean, Zarya isn't really the barrier meta, but she just, it makes her stronger, you know what I mean? But good God, barrier meta is going to be insane. Come Season 5, I think really Season 5, depending on who else they do a buff or nerf to. Since Season 4 literally ends this month. This is the last month for Season 4. It ends early June, I think, or late May, one of the two. And it's almost at the 3-month threshold. February where it started, so February, March, April, May. 3 months going by, so it should probably end like early June, and we'll have that like 2-week hiatus or some shit, or 1-week hiatus. But for now, barrier meta is going to be really annoying. I think late Season 4, early Season 5. I don't know what they're going to do to change it, but they might add in just a huge tank buster who could just kind of run through the barriers like Soldier 76 did. But the saying here, to help Orisa maintain the front line of her team, we're reducing the cooldown to a protective barrier. This change also helps her reposition the barrier more easily when needed to compensate for this new defense strength. We're reducing her fusion drive's damage as it felt too high. I could not agree more. With the barrier now being more accessible and it's going to be more used now, this means that Orisa should theoretically live longer now, because since she's so immobile, she gets to shield so many times now that if she's trying to, you know, back away from DPS or anybody that's getting too close to the front line, she can put up a shield and back up. You know, she can have that opportunity now for a fighting chance, where before, the ult charge city, she was a giant walking feeder. So that's nice. Now Reaper though, I have been talking about Reaper a lot. Not much on my channel, but on my stream. I love Reaper. Top 3 favorite characters. I love Reaper. I've always wanted them to buff Wraith speed. What they're doing here, which I think is nice, it's a huge step. A lot of people I saw bitching on the timeline about this. It's a huge step. Ammo is now entirely refilled when Wraith form is used. It is literally like McCree's role. McCree's roll gives him full ammo after he's done. People are saying, is there still going to be the animation for where he reloads? No, it is literally like McCree, where he rolls and he gets his 6 clip back, and his Peacekeeper is the exact same thing for Reaper's guns. The exact same thing. I think this is huge because now it gives Reaper a fighting chance. I can't say how many times as Reaper I'm running away from the team as Wraith, and I would still get people chasing me, or I would see it from more along other people, really. It wouldn't have much to me, but I'd see it on a lot of people, where they'd be chased as Reaper, and they would just get fucked. They'd be done. But now Reaper has that fighting chance, because since he gets auto reload, he can just try and beat whomever is chasing him 1v1. And 1v1 Reaper is very scary, unless you're like a McCree or a Mei, which can slow him down, or if you're a Pharah or Widow. Otherwise, 1v1ing Reaper is pretty scary. Basically, if you can outrange him like Hanzo as well, stuff like that kind of count as him, you should be okay, unless he's too close. Then scatter air him, and if that's on cooldown, well, you better land that headshot, boy. It's saying Wraith form is typically used as an escape ability after firing. This change gives Reaper a fighting chance if an enemy chases him down as he uses it. Huh, me and Jeff Kaplan got the same head. I'm literally saying all this word for word. I'm not even looking at that. Now, Reinhardt, though, getting to these, I like to say nerfs here. I can't tell you how many times Reinhardt shatters would be extremely annoying, because, like, as a Pharah, I would barely be, like, on the ground. I'd be, like, floating, but, like, a decent amount from the ground, and he would earth shatter, and it'd still hit me. I can't tell you how many times that happened. Like, why? I'm flying. It says here, though, that for the earth shatter, what they did is the effective height has been lowered from 3 meters to 2 meters, meaning that Pharah really shouldn't be hit by, Pharah really shouldn't be hit by the earth shatters as much anymore. It's still possible if you're, quite close to the ground, if you're holding spacebar, tapping a little bit. If you're still close to the ground, anywhere near it, within the 2 meter mark, it's still possible, but, like, it shouldn't be happening nowhere near as often now, which is pretty significant nerf to earth shatter. With those as well, the height threshold of objects that earth shatter can climb has been lowered from 3 meters to 2 meters, making earth shatter less likely to climb tall objects as it crawls along the ground. Again, more reasons why people that are on high ground can't get hit. People like Pharah especially can't get hit. Genji and Hanzo and their wall climbing, they seem like they should be in a better place now. All of this just sounds like Pharah is getting all these indirect buffs, I'm scared for Pharmacy. Pharmacy just seems like it's getting more and more OP, which I think that's going to be the next nerf, because they're nerfing Earth Shatter, which when some pharmacies would come down to land, I know a lot of rounds are just Earth Shatter and she could hit, or when they're coming close to landing. Same thing as well with the Soldier 76 nerf, which we're going to get into here soon, but they said Earth Shatter tended to climb unexpectedly high, frequently hitting targets that were significantly above the ground. Everybody high ground, basically. These changes help the ability stay more grounded. Goodness gracious, dude. Goodness gracious, man. This is significant. This is really significant. I'm interested to see where the meta is going to go from here. But now the 76 nerf, what they're doing here, this is huge. This is huge. Because he got nerfed. His damage got nerfed. Like they said, it's the only thing they're going to do to him. I don't think this makes Soldier unviable. Sit down and stop. He's not unviable. He's still very good. He's still one of the best DPS in the game. They literally decreased his bullet damage by 1 point from 20 to 19. Yes, it's still going to be quite significant because you won't finish off some people like you used to as fast, because obvious damage decrease is obvious, but it's still a lot of damage. That's 19 damage per bullet. That's still a lot. He also still has a Helix, he has an auto-aim ult, he has an infinite run, and he can heal himself. Soldier is still one of the best characters in the game. Alright? His damage before was just way too insane, and I know a lot of people would try and defend it, saying that, oh, Soldier isn't OP, Soldier doesn't do that much damage, you guys are just bad or some shit like that, or you're just standing in front of his line of sight. That's not the case at all. The guy's got an infinite run, he could chase down anybody who he wanted to, and when you do as much damage as Soldier did, it literally became to the point, it's like, why pick any other DPS, It's like, okay, let's have a Soldier, and let's fill with any other DPS. Soldier Pharah, Soldier Reaper, double hit scan, Soldier Kree, Soldier Widow. They would literally be like that every single time. I think the only time where I wouldn't see Soldier like that was Dive Comp, where it was like Genji Tracer, or like Genji Pharah, Tracer Pharah, Stuff like that. Because Genji, Tracer, Pharah, the 3 flankers in the game, because I really don't see Reaper as a flanker. McCree is definitely not a flanker, he's an anti-flanker, so That's interesting. But the fact that they nerfed Soldier's damage now has me really worried about Pharmacy. Because even before, Soldier had a little issue with Pharmacy. Because, and I know you could even have really good aim. It's the fact that you would need a Zenyatta. He needs help. He can't do it by himself. So basically, you have to kill the Mercy first. And then Pharah. Because you could just Discord or the Pharah as well and do more damage outputting than the Mercy can heal. But it's just a lot more better to kill the Mercy that's on the Pharah. That way that she can't generate res. Because as she's shooting that Pharah, she's healing the Pharah and she's generating res. Bring the Pharah right back to the fight when you could be dealing with every other people. And Pharmacy, they typically go after the hit scan first. But it's saying here that 76 is a much better place lately. But his damage output is making him a must pick compared to similar roles. Which I agree in. Like I just said, it would literally be Soldier, insert other DPS. He was literally coming to the point where he's a must pick. And I've always liked Soldier. I've been maining Soldier. He was one of my mains since day one. And literally since the release of the game. And I love them because of the design, how edgy he sounds. But like, as of late, I've been getting tired of him. I'm playing way more Kree, way more Hanzo. It's just, I have not been having the time of my life with Soldier. Because he felt like a must pick. And it just kind of got boring. Because his playstyle is literally boring. It's straightforward, on paper. Anybody can use Soldier. If you learn aiming, and if your positioning is good, anybody can use Soldier. And even if your positioning is poor, you can act on it by having an infinite run and positioning yourself to a better spot within, what, a matter of seconds. It was insane. It was literally insane. But guys, it's going to be it for the video. Thank you guys so much, guys, for watching. I know my, talking has been weird. I'm really tired. I'm, half asleep as I recorded this. So I'm going to pass the hell out after this. I'm pretty excited, though. I'm not going to lie. So I'm down for criticism. I really am. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say about this. Will Pharmacy be a lot better than it actually is now? I think it will. I think people are now going to have to start running double hit scan Diva Zenyatta now or some stuff like that. I think Widow will be a more prominent pick now that Lily Pharmacy is even more threatening. Hell, I think Hanzo's going to get used a lot more now. Let's hope that people will get better. Again, slap that like button, subscribe. I am NumbNexus. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.